have like 15 screens open right now. This is cool. This is the first time that I have done a live across multiple platforms. This is very cool. There's a delay. Um, so we got somebody watching from somewhere. Hello, a Taylor girl. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. People will be joining in. Um, I wanted to just start doing these lives to share more about my work, to answer some questions about the Unbought and Unbossed Academy. I know the vision has grown, and some of you have just joined into the community, and so you might be like, what is even going on right now? Hey, welcome. So my name is Najma. My name is pronounced Najma, in case you were wondering. I am the visionary behind the Unbought and Unbossed Academy. Welcome tonight. Where y'all joining from? Before I just start talking to y'all, where y'all join? Where y'all joining from? Y'all type in the chat as we keep going. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to start having these sessions so I can answer any questions. But I first wanted to just start off with frequently asked questions that I've been getting lately. You can join it from Cali. Welcome. Um, and so I wanted to start a space for Black women to be able to come together and start to dream about what our world is going to look like, especially as this current one is collapsing. I don't know about y'all, but I got tired of just watching it happen. It was like, what are we about to do? Are we going to do something about this, or are we just going to watch as it happens? And then it came the time when 600,000 Black women in the last year have been laid off. And I was like, that brilliance doesn't just go away. All of that brain power, all of that wisdom, all of those degrees, all of that life experience, whether it's degrees or not, it doesn't just go away. And so I wanted to think about a space where we could bring that brilliance in house. I don't know about y'all, but I got tired of building worlds for other people and for other people to make money, and started to think about the examples that we have ancestrally of Black Wall Street, the examples of Black women. I had a session last week where we talked about mutual aid. Black women are the architects of mutual aid in this country. That's how we survived after enslavement, when Reconstruction kind of just went away and they were literally trying to starve us out. Black women came together and pulled our resources so that we could survive. And so with those lessons, with our brain power, with that connection that we have, we are literally unstoppable. And so the Unbought and Unbossed Academy was born out of that. I've been an entrepreneur for the last 5 years, and in that space, my background is in education, economic justice, systems building. So I've been building coalitions, large scale coalitions at the national level, local level, national level for 20 years now, and working in the economic space for about 15 years or so. And so we've been seeing that the way that we work is going to be drastically different. And so that's why I started coaching folks to try to see, how can I help people? How can I support people on their journey as they're trying to transition from their 9 to 5 work into this entrepreneur space? I tell my clients I'm a coach. I'm not a therapist, but if you're going to be an entrepreneur, I highly suggest getting a therapist, because it's going to tap dance on all of your stuff that you don't even know that you're carrying, having to put yourself out there, having to, choose to stand in the light. And so I wanted to make sure that the coaching that I did, had the element of healing in it, especially for Black women. We have been in these workforce that has abused us for years, right? That has exploited us, that has used our labor and not fairly compensated us, all kinds of things. And so first and foremost, we have to heal. We have to understand, how do we come back into our body? How do we reconnect with ourselves before we can start building something else? And so that's a big component of the Unbought and Unbossed Academy too. So when I wanted to create a space where we could all gather. And so that's what it is. It's a literally an online platform where participants will be able to log in. Let me actually put this in the chat while I'm talking. But participants will be able to log into the space. And there's a lot of cool components to it. Are any of y'all members yet of the Academy, or is everybody coming new right now? And tell me how you kind of got connected to my work too, if you don't mind dropping that in the chat. I'd love to hear that as well. I get this link for you all. Membership levels. 1 second. Yes, please ask your question, Shawnee. And I just dropped a link to the Academy in the chat. So hopefully you all get it on your side. But Shawnee, go ahead and drop your question in. I know there's a little bit of a delay. Here, let me put this over here as well. Okay, I appreciate the support. Okay, so my question is, the type of work you're doing is to build prosperity for the Black community, right? Yes, it is to build prosperity for the Black community. And so starting with Black women is who I do work with. And so the goal of the program is, when you come into the Academy, you'll be able to access a number of different spaces. So first and foremost, when people ask, do you have to be an entrepreneur to join? You do not have to be an entrepreneur to join the Academy. You can be still working in your 9 to 5. You can be an entrepreneur. Definitely, it is a great space for us who are working for ourselves, but it is a space for us to learn together wherever you are working at right now. And so, no, you do not have to be an entrepreneur to join. It is open to Black women. That is the sole requirement to be able to participate in the Academy. And it really functions, when you think about it, as it functions as a Black Wall Street, right? So there's a mutual aid component. You'll be able to pay in to the Academy. It's only $10 a month to $30 a month. And there's an option for a lifetime membership as well, which is $1,000, one-time payment of $1,000. There'll also be a free option for folks, because I want to make sure that it's accessible for people. Like I said, folks have been laid off, and so $10 is not nothing when you are trying to make ends meet. And so I wanted to make sure that everybody who wants access can have access. So starting on August 24th, you'll be able to join for free. And so, like I said, it is that feeling of, we are creating a Black Wall Street in this virtual space. And so the funds that you all pay in, your membership fees, that once we are reaching sustainability to be able to actually run the program, I'm going to reinvest that money back into a collective pot of money. And I'll talk more about how that mutual aid fund works. We're going to have internal service providers. So I'm going to have therapists on retainer once we build out the mutual aid fund. Once we have enough people that have joined, we're going to have marketing support on retainer. We're going to have administrative assistance to help you with your business, really in-house. Like I said, think about a Black Wall Street. I want to make sure that we have an ecosystem where we hire each other, where we have everything that we need all in one space. You're going to be able to collaborate with people. So what area do you all work in? Like education, tech? Like drop in the chat what areas of expertise do you all work in? So you'll be able to have breakout rooms. So let's say you work in education, you'll be able to go into your breakout room and you can say either, I need help with this project that I'm working on in this education space. You'll be able to find collaborators that want to team up on projects to work together. If you want to just, I want somebody to help me think about this thing that I'm working on, you're able to do that as well. And so it's really meant for us to share in brain power. As I've been already opening up the academy, I have so many wonderful ideas from Black women on what they're putting together. And so it's really a space for us to be able to learn together. So finance and healthcare. Yeah, so you'll be able to join the finance and healthcare subgroup where you all can support each other. Psychology, child development. Are any of you looking to build your own businesses? Tell me more about that. Like what kind of work you're doing now and if you're thinking about building your own businesses. But even if you're not, when you're working in these spaces, we need support. And oftentimes we're in these spaces and we might be one of only where we don't get to see a lot of other faces that look like ours. So it's also a space where you can have community and you can get feedback on any challenges that you might be facing. And another part of it is we'll have a directory of Black owned businesses, Black women owned businesses that you'll be able to really source from for whatever you need. And you'll be able to add your business to the directory as well. And then we have cohorts where if you want to build a business and you don't want to do it by yourself, not everybody wants to be a CEO. Some folks are like, I want to do my part of it, but you do want to work for yourself and you want to have the power to, make your own schedule, to determine your own future, but you want a team. We will match you in a team with other people who are doing similar work as you and who have complementary skills. And we'll have 4 of those cohorts every year. And so if you want to apply to that, you can do that too. That's a part of the academy. So it's a lot of different moving parts and benefits that you will get when you are a part of the academy. It's not just about building a business. That's one part of it, but it's really about building community. And so another question that I get, and please drop questions in the chat if you have some, but another question that I get is, why is it an academy? So the power of intellectual activism, right? As I said, when we are seeing these systems collapse, the people who are doing the burning down of these systems, they've done their research. The author of Project 2025, he studied Black history to know precisely how to attack our communities. And it was through attacking the financial and economic stability of Black women. And so we also need to make sure, and it's not just because they're doing it, so we need to do it. This is for ourselves, but we need to be able to study our history to understand where we've come from. Our ancestors left us a blueprint and a wealth of scholarship that we need to remember. And so that's why this is an academy. That's why I put education at the foundation. And my background is in education too. So that is another reason. But we are going to be learning with each other, learning from each other. I also have my coaching module. So I've had 20 years of experience in supporting people in the education space, adult education space, who are transitioning from one kind of realm of their life into another. And so I've developed coaching modules to help support you along the way. And so anything from how to articulate and find what your niche is. What is your thing that you are interested in building? What is the thing that brings you joy, that solves a problem or fills a need for other people that they'll pay you for, right? That's your niche. What is the thing that brings you joy? Ask yourself that. You can write that down. Start to think about it. If you've ever thought about building a business, what is the thing that brings you joy, that solves a problem for other people or fills a need for other people that they will pay you for? And then I help you start to articulate what that is, and then think about how to put the structure around building it. So all of those modules will live inside of the academy. And then outside of just building it, I'll help you in some of the modules to understand, how do you navigate fear? When fear is coming up, how do you regulate your nervous system? When you want to quit, how do you internally keep moving forward? So I have modules, like I said, on nervous system regulation, on how to build in community. A lot of people talk about wanting community, but a lot of us lack those relational skills. So I'll have modules in curriculum and coaching curriculum that you can have access to around how to do that. Again, all of this is about learning and growing. And so that will be a part of the academy as well. There'll be at least 10 modules off top, and then I'll continue to add more on based on what the community says that they need and that they want access to. And then also we will have monthly visioning sessions. So we've had 2 already, where we are coming together every month just to talk about what is our vision for our new world. When we think about I think I can invite you on to talk, but give me 1 second so I can figure it out. This is my first time doing the live. I have like 5 different screens open right now, but I'm gonna send it to you so you can talk in a second and ask questions. But yeah, so we'll have monthly visioning sessions, and each session will have a different topic. So in September, I'm bringing on a somatic therapist to talk to us about what happens in our bodies when we are building businesses. How do we regulate ourselves? And so there'll be an opportunity for community members to host sessions as well and to teach us. We're all learning from each other too. So that's another component of it. And that will be monthly. Any questions so far? I'm going to get through these frequently asked questions, and then I'm going to, if people want to join on video, I'll drop the link in there, but keep typing in. I see I'm not currently building anything, but I thought about building transitional housing development for youth 18 to 25. It would assist with providing life. Yes, budgeting, housekeeping, therapy. That is so much needed. And my background is in curriculum design for 18 to 25-year-olds. And so I could help you as you're in the group. The curriculum and the modules that I'm talking about would help you to think through, what would that look like? What are the steps that you would need to take to create something like that? And then you can find people in the academy to help support. There are a number of people in the academy who will also be interested in partnering with something like that. We don't have to do this alone. We don't have to build by ourselves. But that's a great example of what you're building. I see I have 3 businesses that I'm looking to drive my community forward: catering business, employment consulting services, literature brand, and catering businesses. That's the cool thing, especially as Black women, we have no shortage of ideas, right? And so I'll help you, and you'll get help from other folks in the academy to think through, okay, how do you prioritize? What do you want to start with? Because you can do all of these things. It's just about prioritizing. Okay, I'm going to start with this thing. I have multiple businesses. I'm running this academy, but I also have a production company because I have a podcast, and I want to do media work as well. And so we can do whatever we want. That's the exciting part about it, especially when we have support and we don't have to do everything on our own. And so in the academy, you'll be able to workshop these ideas and really get the support that you need to be able to figure out how to get started. Another question that I get from people is, I've talked about this a little bit, but what does this have to do with collective liberation. I talk about, this, the goal of this is our collective liberation, is that we are sharing an economic opportunity, especially with the mutual aid fund. As we continue to grow, as we get more members, that's how we grow the mutual aid fund. Again, that's how our ancestors survived. That's how we will thrive in this new world as things are changing, that we take care of ourselves, that we don't have to wait on anybody else to come and save us, that we do this with each other. And so really wanting to be intentional about that, how we are supporting each other. And it's a really to think about for our liberation, what does a world created by Black women look like? Like, I don't know about y'all, but that is exciting to me to think about. I mean, this world was created by Black women. They just tried to edge us out of it. But to really think about a world that centers around love instead of fear, that centers on abundance instead of scarcity, that centers on freedom instead of control. What could we actually do in that kind of world, right? And so that's what I mean by collective liberation. How do we get free together? And how do we make sure that we have access and that we are supporting each other as we get free? And so, and like I said, a lot of the work that I do, I talk about the ancestors. I'll see behind me, Toni Morrison, Ida B. Wells, there's James Baldwin up there. Like I said, they have left us a blueprint. We don't have to like recreate things. We have to remember where we've come from, and then we can dream about how are we going to take it further. It's our turn now. It's our turn to pick up the baton. It's that quote that we are the ones that we've been waiting for. And that's what the Academy is for us to get to work. And so how does the mutual aid fund work? That's another question that I get. So like I said, when we reach that level of financial sustainability to run the Academy. And so I was so excited. I just started enrolling for the Academy a week ago. We've already got enough members on board, paid members, that the technology to run the Academy is paid for. And that's thousands of dollars a year that it takes to run this platform that I'm talking to y'all on now, to run the actual platform where the Academy lives. And I'll show y'all the back end in a second so you can see what it looks like. But we have enough members already that is paid for. Like I said, that is mutual aid. So people who need to come in for free, they can have access because the people who could afford it, they paid in already. And so that's the first way, that the mutual aid is already working. Like the vision is already taking place. But there's other parts to run the program, right? And so transparently, to pay me, I'm doing this for free right now. But as we continue to get more and more members, that some of that will go to pay me to be able to run the platform, to bring on other support, admin support. And so I will communicate out with the group as we are doing that work, and when we hit those benchmarks. But once we do that, like I said, I will reinvest the membership fees back into a shared pot. And so in that shared pot, we will have one part of it where we'll have an emergency fund. So, let's say somebody in the community is like, I need help getting groceries this month. We'll have a way for you to be able to apply to get some assistance for that emergency. If you need some help towards paying your rent, something like that. So we'll have that part of the mutual aid fund. We'll also have a part of it where we can fund, when I mentioned before that people can get into teams and build businesses together, that they could potentially get, like, let's say $5,000 of startup funding to help them to get going as they're starting their businesses. Another component of the mutual aid fund is having shared service providers on retainer. So for the academy, the vision is we'll have therapists on retainer, web designers on retainer, marketing support on retainer. So then the members of the academy who are paid in will be able to then book with those service providers every month. So let's say you pay in at the $30 level, you get 3 tokens a month. You can book an hour with a therapist if you want. You can book an hour with a web designer if you need it, or you can book an hour with the bookkeeper that month. And so that is the vision behind how the mutual aid will work. And who will oversee the fund? So I have already an advisory board set up. I have tax accountant. I have a finance expert on board. I have a lawyer on board, national organizing expert on board, a couple of those actually, to help with the formation of this, to make sure that we're doing everything with fidelity and good oversight. I'll also have opportunities for folks in the community to volunteer, to be a part of the committee to help oversee the mutual aid fund too. I really want to make sure that it's transparent and that we are relying on each other's expertise as we are putting that together. So there will be a lot of oversight. And then I want the committee to, brainstorm on ways to, how are we going to, apply for mutual aid. What is that going to look like? I don't have to have everything figured out. The committee will figure it out, bring it to me, and I'll be able to approve it so that we can move forward. And so just to show you all a little bit about what it looks like on the back end. How do I share? Share screen. Okay. So this is, I put this in the chat so you can take a look to see everything that is included in the academy, what you get at the different levels. So definitely read through that. Like I said, you should have the link in there. And then this is kind of like the back end. All of this is going to be built out. There's going to be a whole lot more over here. But the courses, like the coaching that I mentioned, is going to be in there. It's going to be guided curriculum. And then it's also going to be, I'm going to record video lessons as well. So you'll be able to have me on video, and then also to go through the modules. If you pay in at the $30 level, you get to have monthly live coaching sessions with me. And you'll also be able to have 2 questions that you get to submit every month as well. And so people are already in here having a good time, introducing themselves, talking about the wonderful work that they're doing. We have announcements. That's why I was talking about how we've reached sustainability, and just other things that people are sharing with each other. And we haven't even, like I said, fully open yet. We fully opened doors on August 24th, but you're able to join right now to start to look around. You're helping me as I'm building it out. These are some of the coaching modules that I talked about. And so the people who are in here now, they're giving me feedback, telling me what else they would like to see as well. And then if you join now, you get to lock in the pricing. The pricing will go up, not drastically, but the pricing will go up after September when we open. So if you want to get in now at this rate, I would highly recommend it. And it's $10 to $30 a month. So this is a little bit of the back end, but it will be way more built out by the 24th. So that's essentially what the Unbought and Unbossed Academy is. I am so excited. I'm so excited. Just the conversations I've been having, what people are building. It's just super, super dope. Okay, let's see. Let's try this out. If anybody wants to somebody mentioned wanting to jump on. Let me see if I can paste it in the chat. So I just put a link in the chat. Hey, it's good to see you. So if anybody wants to join on, I'm just checking all of my screens to see. Um, But any questions from anybody in the chat about this or anything in general, even about your work, you can get some free coaching right now if you want, since you're here. I really just wanted to have this space and hold space for people. This is just really a passion of mine and a joy of mine to be able to support each other in this way. And particularly, after the pandemic, I know a lot of folks' relationships and friendships and things like that started to shift, and we're still kind of recovering to regain community. Eventually, we will be having retreats. That's another part of the academy. We'll be doing in person. I absolutely want to do in person work as well. Yeah, no, you can have a question about what's going on. You can ask me whatever you want. Did you get the link? Here, let me put the link in here. And you can ask any question. So I just updated the link. So if you want to join, you should be able to join at the link that I just put on there. But I was just saying, try the link again. Because I don't know if you can join through Instagram, because I'm streaming through StreamYard. So I don't know if you can join me. I think you would have to join me through the link there. But yeah, so that's essentially what the academy is. Also, you'll be able to connect with people in the state that you live in, so you all can start connecting now. Once you get in, I've been in groups like this before, and some of my friends that I've had over the years have come through them. So really wanting you all to form real relationships with folks, real connections with folks, really building with each other. It's a really exciting time to do it. All right. Shawnee, you want to come on your video? And I can add you to the stage.
I don't think it's working.
Okay. I can
Hello?
hear you. Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Hello. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm surviving.
Yeah.
I'm surviving.
You here. That's
Um,
that's the first step. What question do you
yeah.
have?
So the question I had for like what you're working towards, because I had seen something else. Another woman that I follow on Instagram, she was talking about like kind of the same thing, like creating a mutual fund for like the
Mm-hmm.
Black community. Like if you like take like maybe $10, $15 every paycheck and just put it into that fund
Mm-hmm.
for as many African American people that, she was basically saying that like what she sees online, like people who are saying like band together and this is National Montgomery Chair Day and all these people. So they're like, if you take $5, $10 every paycheck, we have enough to start our own community and be okay. We can start our own banks, healthcare, and this and that, right?
Yeah.
So when I sent you the message on Instagram that I sent you, it
Mm-hmm.
was because I had been looking at this for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
Now for me, my children's father, he was shot and killed like a week before I had my last baby. She's 4 now. So I was trying to rebuild my life from there. But these are all things that I have already put into motion for me. I was
Yeah.
just trying to figure out how to get this stuff off the ground. Like, okay, I still got to work my 9 to 5 because I'm a single mom, right?
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I still got to work my 9 to 5 and make my money, pay my bills and pay my rent, make sure my kids have clothes, food, shoes, all that. But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, I still want to be able to start. That's why I listed in that chat all the stuff that I'm starting. I've already written 12 books. I've
Mm-hmm.
already put the paperwork together for my employment consulting firm.
Yeah.
I've already have 3 or 4 people that are interested in doing that catering business that I mentioned, right? And so that's why I said like I have several businesses that I'm interested in launching. But at the end of the day, when they say it takes a village, it's not just about kids.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that's what I'm building. I'm building our village. And that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that with me. And I'm so sorry to hear
Mm-hmm.
about your loss too. But yeah,
Oh,
that's
thank you.
what this space is for us to be able to, and that's why I set the membership fees fairly low. Like I've been doing coaching for 5 years now. My one-on-one
Mm-hmm.
coaching program, I charge
Mm-hmm.
$2,500 for that. Y'all are getting it for $10 a month. That's $120 a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it is because I wanted it to be accessible. I don't want to just have a few people that can have access to it. I want to have as many people as possible that can have access to it, because the
Mm-hmm.
more people we have, then we can start to pull our resources together. So it's exactly what you are saying, and so that we can support each other, as
Mm-hmm.
we're building. So we don't have to do this by ourselves. We don't have to do it by ourselves. Yeah.
Right. And see, the thing is like, and this is probably my biggest taboo about all of this, is that I feel like it's wonderful. Sorry, that's my 4-year old. So sorry.
It's okay.
No, no, no. Stay right there. Stay right. No, stay right there. I'm on the phone. Stay right there. I'm on the phone. Um, sorry, she's been screened for being on the spectrum, so I have to be very gentle in how I handle her. Uh,
Free play,
anyway,
girl.
yeah, so that was one of the things that I was questioning because like I get like just like anyone else in America, right? We should be able to capitalize off of everything that we're doing,
Mm-hmm.
our intellectual property, our ideas and everything, like our everything, right?
Yeah.
Especially
Mm-hmm.
because we have a history of shit being stolen from us. I get that. So for me, um, I'm not sure what the word is because I've been called several things under this topic, like, oh, you're one of those altruistic type people, or you're a philanthropist, or like listen, I want to be able to make my money as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I've worked in the healthcare administration department for 14 years.
Yeah.
And I've been on both sides from customer service all the way up to management. So I see it on both sides, which
Yeah.
is why I wrote the book that I wrote as far as boxing your way to the top. You have to understand workplace politics because as much as we love to say like, oh no, I should be treated the same and it should be equal, it's never going to be that.
Mm-hmm.
So in the meantime, this is how you play the game to get to where you want to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
And so there's so much in that. And thank you for sharing. And I want to open it up
mhm,
to, but thank
yeah,
you. I want
yeah.
to open it for other folks if they want to ask questions. But
Oh, yeah, of course.
I'm gonna respond in a couple of different ways. So
Okay.
because I understand and I agree, with what you're saying, but also thinking about, again, when we're building this new world, what can it look
Mhm.
like when we don't have to play the game anymore, when we can build our own world in a way that benefits us, right? Because
Right.
we've been doing it this way for so long and it has not been working for so many of us who
Exactly.
try to play the game.
Exactly.
um
Exactly. So that's
yeah.
part of the thing. I used to hate when people used to tell me to play the game. And I'm like, well, I used to interpret it like I'm not fake. I don't play
Yeah.
games. I'm going to
Yeah.
tell you how I feel. I'm going to tell you when some shit is not right.
Yeah.
But that cost me my job on occasion, several
Yeah.
occasions. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So now I want to be in a point to where we don't have to deal with that anymore. So that's why I said, like, so I have those books and everything else that I was starting, like, to kind of, okay, yeah, if you want to play this game, this is the best way for
Yeah.
you and the people that look like us to play this game. Now, if you
Mhm.
don't want to play that game, cool, but at least you already know what the game is. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, being informed, being informed. But thank you so much for sharing. I
Yeah,
appreciate
of
that
course.
coming
Well,
on.
thank you. I'm so glad I came across your page. Thank you.
Yes, I hope to see you inside the academy soon.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
All right, take care.
Okay. Bye.
Any other questions in the chat or anything else or any feedback or anything? I'd love to hear you all's feedback too about anything that I said, what resonates for you as I'm working to talk about this to other people. I just love to hear from you all, like I said, about what resonates or maybe what I didn't answer that you might still have a question about that would help you to make a decision about whether or not the academy is for you. Let me just scroll through. Hello, friends. All these screens over here. Any other questions? I know there's a delay, so I'm going to wait for a second. Probably keep it open for just another few minutes. But I would love to talk to anybody else that wants to hop on. And let me just, oh, no, I can't have more than two links. For the agriculture homesteading aspect, can or will there be a way volunteers um, can offer hands-on assistance? Say more about your question for the agriculture homesteading aspect. You mean if you are wanting to build something, is there a way that people can come together like in person to help each other? Is that what you mean? If so, yes, but clarify what you mean in the chat. But yeah, as you are building your business, like I said, there or just thinking about what you're doing, there will be breakout chat rooms based on interest area. So there is when I created the interest areas, I started to look at when we're thinking about this new world, right? As these systems, we can't trust the lettuce, we can't eat berries and stuff. So I started to think about what is it that we're going to need to be able to care for ourselves, to be able to sustain our communities. And so agriculture, climate change, or climate work and climate defenders, that is one of the spaces. And so that will be a breakout group in like a chat room on the platform I just showed you. There'll be a chat room there where you can talk to people about what you're doing, see who is in your area, and collaborate. And so you can do that in person for sure. You don't own land, but would be willing to help others with processing and learning herbs in nature. Yes, there are already people in the academy. There are a couple people actually that I've talked to who own land and who need support and turning the land into something else. And so that's what I mean. Like we're really going to be connecting the dots. I already know multiple people who are doing work similar to what you're asking about, who are saying that they need people to help support them as they are building it out. So absolutely, there will be different ways. And there's somebody in the group already. She owns an apothecary. So she does teaching on um, kind of herbal medicines, plant medicine, and things like that. So you would be able to learn from her in the group as well. That's a great question. But yeah, definitely people, that's the whole point of it, that you all will be able to come together and be like, I need this, and to be able to see how you can support each other either virtually or if you live near each other or if you're willing to travel, you can do that as well. Any other questions? Yes, I'm glad you're here for it. I hope to see you inside the academy. It's going to be really fun. Like, Black women, we don't often get the opportunity just to try shit out. Like, just to be curious. That's what this is really about. Like, how can we be curious again? How can we just be like, oh, I wonder what would happen if we did this, or let's sit around and brainstorm. And it is by design. We didn't have the luxury of sitting around and pontificating because we had to work. We had, as Shani was talking about, people have kids to take care of. People have, work to do and families to run. And so I want the academy, not even that I want the academy is a space to be safe, right? To be safe enough to just be curious and to be seen trying. I don't know about y'all, but oftentimes I feel like as Black women, we have to show up, or we felt like we had to show up knowing everything. That's one of the reasons why I always did well in school, but I always used to get frustrated because if I already know everything, then why am I here? Like, aren't we supposed to be learning? And so that's why I said this is an academy. That's why I call it an academy. It's a space for us to learn. We are lifelong learners. We never stop learning something new. And that's the like heart, behind the academy, that we can be curious with each other. Is there a plan to help elders in the community and the many challenges arriving in this and future generations? That's a two-part question. That's a really good question. Yes, to help the elders. This is a multi-generational group. I'm working on an event in September to start recruiting youth as well. I want young people to be a part of the academy, like 16 years old, right? There are kids who are doing entrepreneurship academy, who can learn from us, but we can learn from them. I want to know what they're thinking about, what their perspective is on what this new world should be. And to your point about elders, I have coached people. I think my most seasoned coaching client was about 75 years old. There are so many seniors who are transitioning into retirement, but still, wanting to build something, maybe something that they couldn't do in their career now that they have some more space, some more time, and the necessity to still make money, and to build wealth, supporting them too. The part that you're talking about, like the many challenges that are arriving, I don't know if you're in this group that you're talking, like this, the elders. I would love for you to list out what are some of the challenges that you see that you would like to see the academy respond to. Like I said, I want to learn from you all as well. I have some of my own ideas, but I would love to hear from you. I know one of them is, as I'm talking, please type in the chat if you have thoughts about this. But as we're thinking about the loneliness epidemic, which faces regardless of your generation, but especially with our elders, and being able to have a space where we're learning from them, where we are revering them, when we are valuing their wisdom, is one thing that the academy will absolutely be doing. And then thinking about, as you say this, I'm about to write it down, but even being more intentional about it, like what are some of the challenges that our elders are going to be facing, and how can we support them within this academy and this work? I'm going to write that down. I really like that idea. Thank you. But if you have thoughts, I would love for you to put it in the chat. Just taking a note. Any other thoughts or questions about this work, the academy, what it could be, anything that came up for you as I was sharing what it is? Let me see. And I'll just put this back in the chat again, just in case anybody has joined and you need the link to be able to to join the academy. These are good. Thank you. Medical, yep. Financial advisor, psychological support, yep. Medical, financial, and kind of like even estate planning, things like that. Psychological, yep. We will have that. We will definitely have therapists on deck. I'm going to think through too what the medical piece could look like, and like even like I think that could be part of like the breakout rooms too that we have. And then as I'm recruiting volunteers, like asking specifically if people have expertise in these areas. So that's a good idea. My wheels are turning in my head, where we can have people who have expertise in this area, who are open to people, to like helping advise people or point people in the direction that they need to go in. I was just talking to somebody about this today, like supporting an older family member and trying to understand like insurances and like what's possible for them, which matters, right? When we're in community and as you're building, these are some of the barriers that keep us from being able to move forward. We have to make sure that our basic needs are met. So that's a good, yeah. With so many systems disappearing, I'm worried for all of the generations, but the elderly get ignored. Yeah, for sure. That's a good one. That's a good one. Thank you for that. To think about how to be intentional about calling that out and providing those resources, for our elders. Thank you for that. That's why I love this. That's why I love this. Any other thoughts that anybody has or questions? Yeah, I find myself too, because oftentimes we talk about or talk about the ancestors. It's like, but we have elders, on this side that we can talk to directly, that we can learn from directly, who have wisdom, who were there, when some of these movements were being built. Um, and so, I was talking to somebody today about archival work. And I'm interested in like seeing how we can incorporate that work as well, like archiving these stories as we learn from elders in present day, and not just waiting when they become ancestors to um, value that wisdom and that power. Okay. Anything else? Let me see. Would love to speak with, and yes, yeah, we were just talking. I had a call with somebody actually after I got off the call with you, earlier today, and talking about archiving like podcasts and archiving some of the work that we're doing, um, to make sure that there's a record. That's how, I when I was talking about that one day there's going to be a documentary made about the work that we're doing here together with this academy. There will be a documentary made. This story, we are at the beginning of it, and so I want to be very intentional about archiving the work that we're doing with each other, because this is the stuff that we look back on. I don't even say this lightly. It kind of sounds weird, but I'm just saying, like, this is the things that we look back on in history. And we're like, oh, that's how they started to do that. They were the people who started these movements. They were everyday people. They were just regular people. I recently reread Asada Shakur's biography. And one of the main things that struck me was like, she was a regular woman. She was afraid, but she was determined. And she was willing to do what needed to be done for our people, for our liberation. And so, all these things that we read about in our history book, when we're like, oh, where are our leaders? Where it's not going to be a singularly led movement like we've seen in the past. It's going to take each and every one of us. We all have a part, to play. And so this space, I was saying earlier, like, when I was learning from you earlier on our call, Monica, and like, I feel so happy not to be the smartest person in the room all the time, like, or anymore. I feel so delighted to just learn from you all. Like, we have so much to offer each other in this space. Yes, I'm a records type of person. I love to learn, and I think we are the frontier for the next generations. Yeah, we are. We have to be the vanguard, right, of our history. It's on each generation, like I said, to pick up that baton, particularly right now when you have some AI systems destroying books and book bans, but that's been going on through history, right? And so now it's just our turn to show up and not just sitting and watching it happen, right? That's what this academy is. It's a space for us to act, to act, but to act for us, to do it for us. This is not about saving this country. This country is going to do what it's going to do. This is bigger than that, right? This is about, like I said, what world do we want to live in, right? We make our own, right? Our own archives. We're making our own history outside of the mess, outside of the noise that wants to keep us distracted and dysregulated. All right. Any other questions? Let me scroll up to see if I missed anything in the chat. I'm so happy y'all joined. It's been so great talking to you all and to have you all in this space. Like I said, um, I hope that you join the academy. It's going to be amazing. Like, I'm already feeling the vision, like I said, happening. We have, I think, about 65 folks who have joined the community so far, and it's only been a week, and so tell other people, tell other Black women about this group. I just want it to keep growing. I want it to keep expanding. I want us to have the community that so many of us are just desperately in need of. And like I said, to be able to learn from each other, to be able to create an amazing new world together. So I don't see any other questions right now. There's a couple people that are joining though. So if y'all do have some questions before I hop off, I can stay for like a couple minutes. Hey y'all, I see joining on Instagram. I can take a couple more questions if anybody has any about the academy. But I'm going to put this live up so people can watch it back later on if you want to, and to like I said, get your questions answered at the top of this call. For those people who are just hopping on, I started off with frequently asked questions, so definitely listen to the replay if you have any questions. But all right, beautiful people, I'm going to let y'all go. I will be back here next week on Thursday. So send a friend, tell somebody about it in case they might have some questions. They can come and talk to me. Y'all can come back if you want, if something else comes to mind, or if you just want to chat. But thank you so much for joining. Have a beautiful night, and I will see you all soon. See you all in the Unbought and Unbossed Academy. Take care, everybody.